Hello and welcome to Enchantment of Eternity. So this is Mark from Enchantment of Eternity here to talk about the Season 6 trailer of The Expanse, which just dropped today. And this is an impromptu video. I decided to do it at the last moment. I just so happened to have my day off today, so I'm able to just pop on real quick. Now, there was a teaser trailer dropped for The Expanse Season 6 few months ago, but I didn't make a video or a commentary on that because, to be honest, I wasn't too impressed with it. I mean, it's kind of, season 6 looks kind of cool, but that's about it. I didn't really have anything to say about it beyond that. I think this trailer is much better. It's a much better trailer, and so I have some things to say about it. So first, I'll start with my obligatory spoiler warning, of course, for The Expanse up to the end of Season 5. However, let me assure you that there will be no book spoilers for Season 6 of The Expanse. So if you haven't read the books, I'm not going to spoil anything that happens in Season 6, except in very, 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 very vague terms. So unless you're like super, super sensitive, you'll be okay. I'm not going to spoil any major plot points or what's going to happen in Season 6. So, I'm also not going to go like scene by scene and dissect the trailer. I mean, I guess back in the day I used to do that, and some other videos like to do that, but I'm not going to use that many images. I got to be careful with Amazon now, apparently, and not use that many images from the trailers. But also, so I just took a few notes. I watched the trailer. I watched it several times, and I took some notes of some things I had to say about this latest trailer. So, let me just go through. So, one of the first things I noticed was Amos and Clarissa cozying up to each other on the Rocinante. Now, I hope and I believe that the show will stay true to the books, where there will be no hanky-panky or romance between them, that their friendship will be a strictly platonic one, but a very deep and meaningful one. So I get that impression from the trailer, and I'm really looking forward for that. The other thing I thought was interesting is the Belter who was on Drummer's crew. The half that decided to stay with her at the end of Season 5. Joseph, I believe his name was, he has a line in the trailer where he talks about, so the Earthers are experiencing what it's like not to have, clean water and food. Welcome to the Belt. And I think that's actually really interesting. It may seem like cold-hearted for him to comment that way on people who just suffered a massive tragedy that Earth had just suffered, but it actually is an interesting commentary on sort of class privilege, because the Belt has actually been suffering the same sort of things that the Earthers are now suffering for decades, and most people are like, too bad for them, we don't care, but then it makes a total difference when it happens to them, which is something that could be relatable to modern times, that those who are used to having more luxuries, when they suddenly disaster strikes and they have them stripped away, they deal with them harder than those who are used to living in hardship. And keep in mind that Joseph is one of the good guys with Drummer, so I don't think he's actually being heartless. I think he does care about the tragedies that Earth suffered, and it does, of course, as we know from Season 5, does not support Marco in causing that hardship, but still making that little note that, hey, we have Belters, we have to suffer through this for a long time, and no one seemed to care. But now, all of a sudden, it's happening to you. Now you care. So I thought that was a very interesting thing to put in the trailer. Next thing I want to talk about is how Marco, and this was sort of implied from the previous trailer, and I saw some people online theorizing about it, but it's confirmed in this trailer that Marco has made Ceres his home base, which makes a lot of sense from a production point of view, because they already have the sets I don't know if they tore them down or whatnot, but even if they did, they can rebuild it quite easily because they've already done it before of series, and rather than having to recreate a whole nother station. In the books, if I do recall, it was Palace Station that was Marco's home base, but in season 5 in the show, that president guy who was like the transportation minister or whatever destroyed Palace, so that's not a possibility for the show. So it makes all the sense in the world for them to make Ceres the home base in the show, even though that wasn't the case in the books. I will say it has been a long time, several years since I've read book 6, so I'm a little bit foggy on the finer details, but I do plan on reading book 6 again before season 6 starts. I don't know if that's smart. Maybe I should come into season 6 with more fresh eyes, but I kind of want to see where they're deviating from the book, because they are going to have to deviate a lot. But anyway, what else do I have to say in my notes here? Bobby Draper going to Rocinante. Yeah, this is something I got wrong on my season 5 review. When I reviewed the finale of season 5, I said I was upset because Bobby wasn't joining the Rocinante because it happened in the books. But I was actually wrong. As I said, it's been several years since I read the books. Bobby actually didn't join the Rocinante at the end of book 5. She was sent on a mission on the Rocinante in book 6, which is exactly what they're doing here. So they actually are staying true to the books. In that case, I was just misremembering, and I'm so looking forward to the storyline of seeing Bobby on the Rocinante. Now, I'm pretty sure, I would guess that the show would probably follow the books, and again, if my memory's not betraying me, that Bobby was in fact in charge of the mission that the Rosie was on. Not necessarily in charge of the Rosie. I believe Holden was still the captain of the ship, but she was in charge of the mission. That would be really interesting if the show stayed true to that. And it does kind of, I get that impression from the trailer that will be the case. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited for that. We see some fighting with Drummer in her group, so we know that she's going to be fighting Marco, and we hear some audio of other Belters saying, "We were once Golden Bow, but now we're with you, Drummer." So that it really indicates, and of course I'm paraphrasing, but that really indicates that Drummer's gonna be like leading the Belter-based resistance against Marco, and she's gonna gain support, and that's really exciting. I'm really, really excited for that. Now, Drummer's storyline is gonna be really different than it was in the novels, because she wasn't in the novels. I talked about this a lot in my season 5. They're basing her character off of a different character who was in just book 6. But some of the stuff that she did in book 6, they had already shown in book 5. And a lot of people were saying that's part of why they're able to do a shorter season in season 6, only having 6 episodes, because some of the book 6 stuff they've already done in season 5, and so it's going to be really interesting to see how they adapt Drummer's storyline. It actually looks great. I have high hopes for her. I love what they did with Drummer. I think there were some people who apparently weren't that happy with Drummer's storyline in season 5. I love it. I still think season 5 was the best season of the show, which I've gotten a lot of pushback on. Some people would say, or a lot of people are still saying season 3, but I would push back a lot against that. I think season 3 was a very bad adaptation, and the book's better. I'm sorry. Overall, I get accused of being a book nerd, which I think is completely unfair, because I'm not. I think the show is just as good as the book, and there's a lot of cases where the show adapts the books better. Like, the show does it better than the book. So I think it's unfair to call me a book nerd when I don't think the books are better, and I repeatedly say I don't think the books are better, but I do think book 3 is better than season 3, because they rushed it. That's the only thing, and it doesn't make me a book nerd, because season 2 is better than book 2. It's all evens out, but whatever. I'm getting distracted here. That really irritates me. Anyway, Because I think people are wrong for saying season 3 is the best season. It clearly isn't. But anyway, sorry. Let me get back. So, what else in the trailer? Just generally, there's a lot of really actions and suspense scenes, which is what I expect for this season. And I do have high hopes that this season's going to be, again, another example. Like, I think season 5 was an example, and I think season 6 is going to be another example where the show is better than the books, where the show does it even better. And I get that impression. And a lot of people had some issues with book 6, to be honest. So I think having a shorter season is actually going to trim some of the fat, and it could be a really good thing. And I think there is a strong possibility that season 6 is going to be better than book 6. Oh, I'm such a book nerd. But anyway, sorry. God, that irritates me. But anyway, I think this show's better than the books. Aren't I such a book nerd? Anyway, so one thing I gotta talk about is Bobby Draper. And has a line in the trailer where she says, something about fighting. You got to fight for those who covering your back. But the word back it's very poorly edited in. Bobby Draper is not saying back. She's not saying covering your back. She's saying a different word. It's very obvious. And if they're going to edit it out, and they could at least do a better job of it, she's not saying cover your back. So that was the one thing that kind of irritated me about the trailer. Other thing, Ava Sorella, that she has some lines towards the end of the trailer about, we got to show the Belters how we're suffering. I like that. It continues on with what they established with her in season 5 about her trying to reach out to the Belt instead of attacking them like the that transportation minister wanted to do, and how she took over on that, and how she's actually trying to gain allies, which it does make me wonder how they're going to approach her working with Drummer, because in the books, the character who Drummer is now following, Micho Pa, Ava Sorella didn't like her, didn't want to work with her. I think she had to be talked into it because she's like, oh, she's a pirate, screw her. I wonder if she's going to have a similar attitude towards Drummer. I think it would be kind of interesting, and I think it'd actually be more consistent with her show character if she didn't. If she actually was more willing to reach out and work with her. But I'm assuming they're going to work together, but they have to. They're both fighting Marco, enemy of my enemy is my friend, all that jazz. So it's got to be the case. Anyway, so the trailer ends with the adaptation of Strange Dogs. Now, Strange Dogs was a short story that's basically setting up for book 7, 8, and 9. Mainly book 7, but yeah. And it's actually it was the first short story I've read. It's actually, I wouldn't say it's the only one I read, because I went back and read I can't even remember what it's called. The one with Bobby Draper and her nephew that they kind of incorporated into season 4, which is why I read that. But I read that after I saw season 4, whereas this short story I've read a long time ago. And I still haven't read them all. I haven't read The Churn or the Butcher of Anderson Station or anything like that. But to be honest, I didn't finish the whole thing because I thought it was boring and I gave up on it. So now, knowing that season 7's going to, or season 6, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now knowing that season 6 is going to adapt it does make me want to go back and finish it and read the whole thing. I might have to start it from the start, which is hard because I did think it was boring. Maybe I'll be more interested in it now that I know more of the backstory, because I believe I've read this short story before book 7 came out. So I was like, I didn't think the books did as good of a job of setting up for Laconia and what it is. But basically what I'm talking about that now is because this whole short story, and some people might have been confused by seeing that alien creature, be like, what the hell is this alien creature about, might not be aware that is taking place on Laconia. Now, if you don't recall, Laconia was the planet beyond the Ring Gates that the traitor Martians and who made the deal with Marco, where they went through and they went to set up their new colony. So we're actually going to see them on their new colony, although through the lens of these children. And that that alien dog thing is the strange dog. It's the alien creature that lives on this planet. Kind of like a dog, not like an intelligent creature. But so it does make me think a lot, because this short story was really just setting up for book 7 and 8. And if they're putting it into season 6, that does tell me that they are planning to adapt book 7, 8, and 9. Because why would you put this short story in if you're not? I mean, it's, yeah. So I mean, they're being really coy about it because there's no official deal struck. You notice how every, like, when the season of The Expanse starts airing, like halfway through the season or while the season's airing, that's when they announce, oh, this has been renewed for another season. Or like in the case of season 3 and season 5, they announce, oh, this show's been canceled halfway through the season. I'm hoping that halfway through the season they're going to announce that they made a deal to do book 7, 8, and 9 as movies, which is what I really think they're going to do. I think that's the plan. Other people have theories that they're going to wait like 10 years or something and do them as a sequel show. I don't think they're going to wait that long. I don't think that's practical to wait that long. I think that I would hope at the very least, maybe it's not, say, I'm hoping they'll announce it now, which means it would be like a year or two away, which is very fast. Maybe that's way too optimistic, but, I'm sorry, I'm still going to dream. But I think at the very least, the writers and, the showrunners are obviously setting up for these future books to be covered. Now, it's possible that they're just doing that just in case, and it's possible that they'll never be adapted, so this will kind of be a dead end. It's not gonna be like there's a cliffhanger though that has not really giving away spoilers, because this is something Ty Frank, the author, one of the authors of the books and one of the producers of the show, flat out said, and I think the showrunner Nareen Shankar said this as well, that book 6 is a good stopping point, and that season 6 is going to end at the end of book 6. So it's been confirmed that they're not going to try to shove book 7, 8, or 9 material in this final season, which, especially considering it's a shorter season, only 6 episodes, yeah, thank God they're not going to try to do that. That would be Game of Thrones season 8 kind of material there. So they're definitely going to avoid that. So that and they're right that book 6 is a good stopping point, but again, slight spoilers if you're super sensitive. There's still a lot of questions left that books 7, 8, and 9 address, mainly having to do with the proto-molecule and the Laconians or whatever. Like, all of that stuff is like book 6 doesn't address the proto-molecule at all. It just deals with the Marco stuff and resolves that, but it's a good stopping point. I think they said that the situation the show set up is this strife between Earth, Mars, and the Belt, and that is resolved at the end of book 6, so that will be resolved at the end of season 6. So it will be a good stopping point for the show. But there's all this stuff about the proto-molecule that book 7, 8, and 9 cover. So it would suck to me if they never cover those books and the show just leaves all those questions open. But again, high hopes. Anyway, so that's it for my coverage of the season 6 trailer. I'm so excited for it. I will be, of course, covering this on my channel with weekly reviews, episode reviews, and as well as live discussions, which I'm just getting ready to organize that. mostly it will probably, we're aiming for Saturday nights. And I think Darian's going to join me weekly, or at least he's going to try. So we'll have some of the same usual guests. Of course, my sister will be on as well, and Don Willie. So yeah, so I'll be doing that, as well as my own personal reviews of the episode every week. So be sure to subscribe and keep up as we cover The Expanse Season 6, which I'm so excited for. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.